How do we implement a positive move forward?
The first thing that's happening right now that's really critical is Occupy Wall Street. It's just saying, look, we're finished with this stuff. And it ends when enough people say it ends. That's basically how it's going to come down.
What do you see happening with this Occupy Wall Street? It's obviously all over the world now. It's amazing.
Absolutely.
It's like you see one of those Occupy maps and you see literally all over the world people are protesting. But where does this end?
I think this ends when the institutions that exist start saying they're not able to handle this situation anymore, and then we start looking for a new way of handling life. I mean, it was interesting when a governor of one of the places said, I have a lot of trouble with this Occupy Wall Street stuff because I can't find anybody to talk to that's in charge. And it was sort of like, yeah, because, man, this is a new way of life. You're not going to have that old game anymore. Yeah. So all of a sudden, the old guard will not be able to communicate with the new way of life. And,
right. And well, it's like the internet. No one runs the internet. There's not one person that runs the internet, you know?
Yeah.
You could have one person that has a show on NBC or a show on ABC. You know, you can have someone who controls a network. But once you're on the internet, it's just one thing. Just
Absolutely.
Like what Occupy Wall Street is. There's not one leader. It's one giant cohesive thing all working together. That's very fascinating.
That's why I said the technology of the internet was the final evolutionary stage required for civilization because it's the nervous system of a global civilization. And once that was put into place and the cells started communicating with each other, and once they started to do that, then look what's unfolding in the world around us today. Once the groups of cells from every part of the world started looking at the same dialogue and the same language. And for me, it's exciting. I travel all over the place. I give lectures. What hit me was a few years back, I was sitting in my living room in Santa Cruz, and a video crew from Russia was there. And they were setting up for the video, and I was just sitting there looking at them, and I thought, if you didn't hear them speaking, if you just had a video without the sound, you wouldn't know if they came from LA or where the hell they came from. All of a sudden you start to realize all around the world, people are beginning to start to act as one community of people. And it's real exciting because that is what the evolution is all about. You can't have separate countries that say, well, look, let's burn all this crap and put it in the air because it's going to blow over there and we don't care about it. Those days are over. Every nation represents cells of people coming together. It's like every country is like an organ in the body. You need all the organs to work together to create the wholeness of it. And that's what we're beginning to recognize. No organ is separate from any other organ. We're all part of the same body.
So your lungs are fucking up your whole life, son. That's what he's trying to say.
Boy, he bites onto that one, doesn't let go, man, Brian.
That's what he's trying to say, Brian. He's trying to say your lungs are fucking up everything.
Stop smoking marijuana, and you're doing it too.
No, marijuana doesn't do the same thing to your lungs, silly.
Any smoke in your lungs does it.
No, it doesn't. You're wrong. What are you, a doctor, you fuckhead?
Yes, it has to.
You're just talking out of your ass. You never read a single thing about weed.
It has to.
You have never read a single thing about...
If you think of what a lung is, it has to affect it the same way. It's not like it's opposite smoke.
First of all, I don't think you're inhaling nearly as much smoke when you smoke marijuana because you're only doing it like maybe once or twice in a day. You're sucking on those stupid things all fucking day long. And on top of that, those things have 590
You take one bong hit,
chemicals.
that's like a pack of cigarettes.
The fuck it is. It's going through water. That's not a water pipe, stupid. That's a cigarette.
All right, and cigarettes are going through filters.
Oh, my God. Brian, cigarettes are filled with chemicals that kill you. No one's ever died from pot ever in the history of the world. Do you not get that? That there's a direct connection there?
I'm sure there's people that have died from marijuana.
No, you might have done something stupid when you were high.
With the help of marijuana.
You might have done something stupid when you were high, but that's on you. That's not on the pot's plant. That's like, blaming a Corvette because you crashed into a tree. It's not the car's fault. If you knew how to drive, you would have done well with it.
Wouldn't you say, like, there's definitely been lung cancer cases that are probably attributed to marijuana?
No, there's none. Zero. No.
Well, I mean, no, that they don't say it's marijuana
there's no
because,
one
like,
that's
hey,
ever
I have
just
cancer.
Smoked pot and gotten lung cancer. Yeah. There would be cases of it. They would talk about it. Look, there's freak instances in medicine. There's freak instances where people's reactions to certain things, and people get cancer from fucking all kinds of weird shit that doesn't bother you or me. But you look at the history of human use, where's the fucking bodies, dude? You can't say that pot smoke kills people. You can't, because there's no evidence. There's no evidence that anybody's dying from it. There's a lot of evidence that people are dying from cigarettes.
But you're very strong on that side of the case. If there's
I like you. I don't want you to die of cancer.
No.
I met a guy who...
No, I'm saying even though there's no evidence, you seem like you've picked a side. But don't you... You're just ruling out that there's no one that has got lung cancer from marijuana smoke?
Well, if that guy died, he's a pussy. If one guy died from weed, he's a pussy. That's what I said. Jesus Christ. If weed kills you, what? It's because weed got there first. You could have died sniffing glue, you stupid fuck. I just like you, dude. I don't want you to get cancer. And I know you're stuck in this stupid thing, and it's so ridiculous because you quit for a while, and you talk about how, oh, smoke makes me sick now, and then your cat stubs its toe, and you fucking light right up again. You know, and you're playing a game that's going to catch up with you. And I think this message is to anybody who's out there smoking cigarettes. It's the most ridiculous fucking thing you can do. They taste like shit. They're terrible for you. This whole reward mechanism is just because you're addicted to their chemicals. And when you get that chemical, you get this reward. It's not even just tobacco.
And I will say, if you get a law that says ban cigarettes from the United States, that 90% of the smokers will sign it.
That right there. That's incredible.
It's incredible. Yeah, I mean, you don't understand what it's like to be addicted to cigarettes.
Oh, I imagine. I can only imagine.
So you're preaching to the choir when you talk about it to any smoker. You're preaching to the choir.
I want you to be strong, son. I want you to be
get
strong.
It. Well, tell government to stop smoking.
Bruce Lipton just told me that you are creating your own life, dude. You're creating all your own problems. See, he just explained
but cigarettes
to you
to me,
what's happening to you on a quantum level.
I know, but cigarettes to me are making me happy.
You are the perfect
and
foil.
Being happy will make
You're the perfect foil for this intelligent debate we're having, where Bruce is explaining the nature of the fucking universe, and you're like, "No, cigarettes are awesome."
I'm not saying they're awesome. I just said please ban them.
Please ban them because they're awesome. I can't stop. I'm gonna smoke in front of people. I don't care. I don't care if it stinks. It's like you just like it's like if someone who really likes to fart, you don't care. You just fart all over everybody.
I love farting all over people.
Just lighting cigarettes all over people.
Time for an intervention.
This stupidity in the air. It's just, and if you like cigarettes, man, that's all cool and everything. That's all cool in the gang. I'm just telling my friend here, don't be stupid. Right? It's ridiculous. Isn't that what you're supposed to do? If we're supposed to re-engineer the world, aren't you supposed to call stupid shit out when you see it?
It's going to be great.
Are you going to be the king? Who's going to be the king?
No, I don't want to see.
I
want to go back to the mountains
you want
of
to be
Santa
president,
Cruz. No, I just want to be, back in the woods.
You want to go hide in the woods?
Oh, I love that.
I like that too.
Yeah.
You and I are on the same page with that.
Yeah.
You animals.
No, it's fucking in the woods. You don't. If you're a sensitive person, if you're thinking all the time and you're sensitive to other people around you, and I always believe that people around you affect you. Their energy affects
Absolutely
you.
do.
You don't realize how relaxing it is when there's no one around. When there's literally no one around. Like you sit out on your porch, you hear chirp, 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 chirp. You see a chipmunk walk by, and you see birds flying overhead. You see the wind slowly moving the trees. Fuck, that feels awesome.
That's
So
the
you're released. Yeah.
garden experience. Yeah.
Yeah, you're released from the hive briefly. That's why I don't understand New York City. Like you're just trusting all these people's vibes around you. Like you're gonna live in some giant fucking cement box with a bunch of weirdos. And they all think weird shit, and who knows whose toaster doesn't work right and lights the whole fucking place on fire. You're going to trust these assholes, and you're just going to be around them every day, stuck in traffic, and just breathing their energy, right?
Yeah, I was one of the lucky guys in the world. I ended up teaching in the Caribbean islands.
Whoa.
I taught there for about 3 years, and I want to talk
Are you
about
married?
Garden of Eden. Not back then, no.
Oh, yeah. Tell me
Well,
more.
you want to talk about a
Shazam.
line? I offered this line, and it never really worked. It was like, hey, you got nothing to do? I got a villa down in the Caribbean. You want to come down there? I had that great line, but I really
couldn't
never
find a
found
place to
anybody
use it?
that was like, God, what a great line, and I'm wasting it.
That's a pretty baller line. Well, you want to come to my place down the Caribbean. I go there sometimes. I fuck around with the Caribbean.
Yeah, and
I fuck with
everything.
that sometimes. I got a villa, whatever. That's one of those things.
Yeah.
It's one of those things. You really should have used it. You should have forced yourself in some sort of a bar situation. It's one of those things. If you would think that if you didn't have it, you'd say, man, if I had that, boy, would I fucking use it. But then if you did have it, you probably wouldn't use it, right?
No,
it seems so cheesy. The rejection could be so horrifying.
It was actually a couple of times.
That?
Oh yeah.
Oh, you did try it. So you did try it.
Oh yeah.
And they rejected it.
They rejected it, and it's just like, wow, that didn't work. I'm really bad, am I?
Well, when you say something really cheesy like that, you take a chance that the girl's basically a materialistic slut.
Didn't find
a lot
that
of chicks don't like that. Yeah, that's really, you're taking a big bold chance. It's like when Bill Clinton used to just pull his dick out in front of girls. Man, I guess that works sometimes. But holy shit, what a gamble. You know?
He represented the testosterone of the country, so he was, that's what he was.
It must have worked so many times. There's no way it didn't work, because all these, like the state trooper woman, that Jennifer Flowers woman, these women that would claim to just whip his dick out. It was not just one. It was like it obviously was his go-to move.
It was an unconscious behavior.
Yeah.
He didn't see himself doing it.
But I mean, I can't believe he did it with like women in like professional environments and stuff. I mean, he wasn't like alone at his house. They're having a couple of drinks and he just whips it out. No, he would whip it out when the first person left the room. There'd be like 3 people in the room. I'll be right back. I'm going to go to the bathroom. Then one person would go to the bathroom. He'd whip his dick out. I mean, he was fucking crazy.
He was king.
He was king.
Yeah.
But is it natural to have that kind of behavior? Like, isn't that what drives a lot of those guys to get to that position in the first place?
Absolutely, because you're in that competition out there in the field. And how do you know how you succeed in the competition? Well, how many toys do you own, and what's your position in the hierarchy? And so when you've driven yourself to that level, there was a reason why you wanted to be up there, not just because it was something to do for the week or something like that. There was a mission statement. So that was playing the game full out, going for that.
This is why a lot of people really identify with Ron Paul. And one of the reasons why they identify with Ron Paul is they know he doesn't want to fuck anybody.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's like an old dude. He's not like on some crazy pussy prowl. And, once he gets in office, he'll be playing golf every day. No, he's done with everything. Any thought of anything masculine or dominating, and, he's done with all that.
Absolutely, and it would be great. I could just see it happening because of the internet community. A third party could arise within just several weeks.
Do you think voting is real?
Voting?
Yeah.
No.
Do you think it's not rigged?
I think it's set up.
It's rigged.
Yeah, especially with computer voting
Yeah.
machines.
Did you watch that documentary, Hacking Democracy?
Yeah, and I've seen that, and I know some
amazing.
of the people in the industry, and it's sort of like, yeah, that's just a given.
But what's insane is that wasn't followed up on and chased down and beaten down in front of the press, like that girl who killed her baby. What the fuck's her name? Casey Anthony.
Oh,
that got beaten down. That got beaten down in the press. Why wasn't this?
But because obviously anything that was important doesn't play in the press. The press is owned by the people that own the opinion. They'll play what they want. I mean, when haven't they done that?
So disgusting.
No.
Ew.
That's why the internet is so. That's why they lost control. All of a sudden,
what a fuck up the internet is, huh?
Isn't it
Could you
great?
imagine?
Yeah.
It's pirate radio for the whole world.
Exactly.
What a disaster. You
Yeah.
let the people think for themselves.
The fun stuff is like that. So that Rodney King, people don't remember, but Rodney King was the beginning of everybody getting caught on camera. And I loved it. Like,
yeah, you're right.
I
never thought of it
once
that way.
opened up, all of a sudden it's like, oh, you mean you could expose the secrets, and everybody had cameras, like that UC Davis thing.
Yes, the pepper spray guy.
That was a great.
That's
that
horrific.
was a great demonstration how they peaceably just pushed the guys right out of the thing. But what was neat is like 50% of the audience had their hands up with cameras, and everybody was shooting this whole thing. It was sort of like, in this world.
I don't think that guy thought that was going to happen.
No.
I don't think he was going to get. I think he never thought he would get contacted about it. It was
Old,
just doing his job.
Old thought.
Yeah. That was amazing to me, that someone could think that it would be the right thing to do to take some fucking kid who is a college student, okay, and all they're doing is sitting there protesting, and you're going to spray some whatever they are, 19, 20-year-old kid in the face with pepper spray, and you're a cop? What a piece of shit. And that reaction is completely natural and important, right? Because that is verification that there's a new process in place.
Absolutely, and that's what I was so proud about those people, because they got into a situation where it could have gotten into violence, and what they did is they just held the violence back, and just, they just shame on you, and they shamed them, like pushed them back until they were off the campus, and they got off, and it was like, oh, wow, nonviolence. Because what people have to understand is that it's the violence that's being planted. I think most of it, I would say, is to throw people against this Occupy Wall Street movement. When they did it peaceably, it's like, wow, how are you gonna complain about that? It's like that was a great demonstration of how to handle the situation, because the moment violence comes in, those they're almost like Nazi stormtroopers out there, and especially with all that Homeland Security, all that crap, all their new guns and all that technology for crowd control. They're freaky people out there, and it's like, and they love the job. They love to go out there and pound on those kids. That's what they train for.
So ridiculous. So ridiculous. It's very fascinating, though. It's very fascinating the tone that the movement has taken. The fact that it's really been amazingly nonviolent,
Yes.
considering the amount of resistance. I mean,
That's what it needs.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, if you're going to play the game of force, you're not going to win the game.
what do you think is going to happen? Or do you sit down and prognosticate? Do you see a direction that this is going to go to?
Yeah, there's two choices here, and the choices are